While we've been doing our show, Gilbert Arenas, Gil's Arena, the podcast there.
I never missed Gil's Arena.
We know. Well, you didn't want to miss today because they had your boy on. Stephen A. promised he would come on today, and he did.
Kelvin.
And he has some a little bit more smoke for LeBron than he kind of had the other day on the show. Let's hear what Stephen A. had to say.
You said my son. No, I wasn't. I was talking about you. I was talking about you. Wasn't about your son. I know he's number 55. I know he got work to do. Woo. I believe that he got potential. Yeah. I believe that he got the potential to go pro. I truly believe that. It's going to be tough, but I think he could pull it off. And by the way, I'm rooting for him. I ain't rooting against nobody, but I was talking about your ass. You did this. You the one that had us as reporters, as a league, as an NBA franchise. All of us got to sit back and be.
Wait, I want to hear sit back and what? Be quiet? Brandon, come here. What else was he saying?
He cussed. It just wasn't believed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he cussed.
I saved us at the end.
Oh,
Thank you.
good catch. Good catch.
Yeah,
okay.
you're welcome.
I told him to let it
Rob
go. I said Steve will take the fall for it. Don't worry about it.
Well, Rob will. That's his man. Yeah. He
I
worked. He
love
got 100
Steve.
mil.
I'm
I
not
love
that.
Steve.
So he has 100
Yeah, he
mil.
got 100
I
mil.
don't have 100
He's got 100 mil. He'll deal with
I
that.
don't
Hey, can
have
you play this
100
little FCC fine for us real quick, Steve? So, yeah, I mean, we didn't hear the last little part there, but he definitely had more smoke and more fire than he did on his show on Monday. So you weren't here Friday. Or Friday it was, I'm sorry. You weren't here. You didn't get a chance to, to respond. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was lame on LeBron's part. I really did to do that. You know, I saw something that Ryan Clark said, and I thought to myself, that's spot on. Like that he never stepped to Skip Bayless like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Who's for a long time talked about his
made a career out of basically
and
the last
stuff like
10
that.
years, yeah.
It's just interesting that Stephen A. would be the guy you feel like you want to come up and be big and bad. I just thought it was unprofessional and unnecessary, and drew attention to himself. He's usually the passive aggressive guy with his tweets and some of the stuff that he does, but here he felt good about doing this in public, where he easily could have picked up the phone. Rich Paul and his people could have picked up the phone. Yeah. Steve ain't afraid of anybody, okay? I've known him for a million years. He'll have a conversation with you, and if he needs to push back, he'll push back, and that's who he is. It's not an act. He's from New York, okay? That's how people respond. So I just thought it was lame to do it in public, do it near the locker room in a private office back there or whatever, and if you want to air yourself, air Steve out or yell at him or whatever. I've been yelled at and whatnot, but not, Rob, come down to the field and let me yell at you in front of everybody. That's the part that I just didn't appreciate and I thought was bad and unprofessional.
Yeah. I think what makes it interesting is the LeBron is so planned out, executed, and usually mild-mannered. I mean, we've literally seen him get body slammed by players on the court where we all might go, oh, he's about to get up and be, he'll get up and not. He'll just walk to the free throw line.
Right.
Guys get in his face, he'll kind of laugh. Or he might, hey, man, get on my face a little bit. But he was adamant with Stephen A. That was what made it weird. We rarely see LeBron that adamant about something.
And Stephen A. was a professional
Stephen A. was
all
like,
the way.
yeah, because also keep in mind, this is the fourth quarter of a game. This isn't, in the locker room, in the tunnel on the way to the locker room. This was literally during a game. So I would imagine it had to be a little bit jarring. And then Stephen A's response the first time was impressive to me in that I thought he was going to go scorch earth, the whole take a look at me, put the camera on me, that. And he said, I can't definitively say I wouldn't have done that as a father. And I thought that was interesting.
See, that's where I disagree with that take. And I'm going to tell you why. If this was an AAU situation or a high school or whatever, not in the NBA where he's making millions of dollars. He's in the NBA. You're open to criticism, everybody, general managers, coaches, all the players. I don't care who you are. You don't even have to be a great player, okay?
Bums get it too. That's why they bums.
Bums get it too. If you miss a big free throw, Rob G., who did LeBron pass the ball to who missed the free throws in the playoffs?
George Hill.
George Hill.
The
legend.
Okay.
George Hill's, J.R. Smith saved him.
But George Hill, he got the business, right? Because he missed the free throws that were very important in that game. And all I'm saying is people are open to criticism once you put that uniform on and you step out on the court and people pay money to see you play.
I think that's where this is starting to get weirded out and mixed up is because I think most people agree Bronny James is open for criticism.
Yes.
Like, he's a player in the NBA, not even the G League, because he's half G League, half NBA, whatever it is.
He's got an NBA contract.
He's got an NBA contract. He's making millions of dollars. He is not above, being criticized as we would do. Now, there's not much to criticize in since he doesn't play often, but he's not above it. I think most people agree.
Even the father thing, it should be behind closed doors, so nobody. That even puts Bronny. Your dad has to stand up for you. I get it's LeBron,
right?
But it would be like, and this in the NBA, there have been some players whose fathers have been too involved and too much, and it cost them either not making teams or not being or trading them. They don't want to be bothered.
There's a handful of fathers.
Am I right?
Oh yeah,
or just too involved.
Sitting front row. T. Martin. Ja Morant's dad, T. Morant's had a couple of moments where you got to fall back, T.
You got right.
You're doing too much right now, and you're getting into it, people. And I think. Only thing I can think of, because, again, it was so out of the nature of LeBron that I think the fathering thing, like he said, my son, you're talking about my blanking son, but I think it was more the questioning of, you're putting your son in this position. You have us doing this to your son. You have said all that. And I think more than anything, it was the fathering of your son more than the son himself. Because Stephen A. ain't really said nothing that wild about Bronny.
Right, but the point is that Stephen A. is saying that he's put Bronny in harm's way by forcing the issue here that his kid ain't really ready
and yet
for the
you
NBA.
got him here.
And you got
I
him
think
in
that's
the league,
what he heard.
and that is the part that Stephen A. is talking about. That's a father. You have 3 daughters.
Yes.
As a father, you want to protect your daughters, am I right? At all costs.
Yeah.
So sometimes knowing that they're not ready for something, hey, baby, this ain't right
Give us
for
some time.
you.
Come
know
back.
what I'm
Let's
saying?
work hard. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's what a father would do
and sometimes,
in certain circumstances.
And sometimes hit dogs holler, and maybe LeBron feels like, dang, maybe maybe we could have did it differently. I don't know. I just know it was out of nature for him, out of character. And I think, Rob G, you know how it is. If you're putting your daughter, you remember you said she like yelled at you like, who are you, or something like, who's this man, something that made you feel like, oh shoot, people looking like,
oh yeah, at the school when she didn't want to get in the car with me.
Yes,
still mad about that.
You should be
any type of thing, and even me, like where someone questions your father, how your father ring,
right?
It rubs you the wrong way because you're like, hold on, and
that's your kids are making $8 million.
I agree.
I mean, like that's the part that separates
100%.
The normal father. He's got a job in the league.
He's a professional.
Exactly.
In the NBA making music. But I'm saying that's the only thing I can think. Right or wrong, I think that's for him. He just, more than Bronny, you're questioning my fathering. And I think that's what rubbed him the wrong way. That's just my thoughts. All right, it's time now for Trash Talking Tuesday.
Don't you ever talk about me. It's Trash Talking Tuesday.
It's your teeth, Reggie. I don't know whether to smile at you or kick a field goal, man.
All right, let's go. 877-99 on Fox. Robert in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Robert?
What's going on, fellas?
How are you?
I'm good, blessed, man. I can't complain. I'm trashing Stephen A. Smith and that take y'all just talked about with him talking about LeBron James and his son. And as Bubba Dog would say, that take he did, it was trash. He's just as well good. He got him. First of all, you talk about, like Kelvin just said, you talk about LeBron James, how he raises. You never talk about how a man raised his son. He's not out here, the guy, his son, leading the wrong way, doing the legal stuff. Stephen A. pick and choose who he want to talk about. You didn't talk about Michael Jordan, how he raised his son. His son out here doing drugs, got a woman on a...
Allegedly.
Allegedly doing all type of stuff. You didn't question his fatherhood, but this man is trying to raise his son in the right way. And you talking about, if you're going to stick to the stats, stay on stats. But all the extra stuff is unnecessary.
No, Robert, I hear you, and I'm not going to interrupt you. Go ahead. Finish up.
And just lastly, you had a chance. This man came to you face to face. You had a chance to have all that screaming, all that yelling you did on Gil's podcast, but you didn't do that when that man was in your face. You waited till you got away, and now you want to do the cursing and screaming and yelling. I don't respect that at all. That you should did that when that man was face to face you as a man.
All right, Robert, appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Robert. Thanks for the call.
877-99 on Fox. Carl in Mobile, Alabama. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Carl?
I am trashing LeBron, Will Smith, James for the way he handled this situation. Man, how can I called you guys show a year or so ago when I said this would be a worst idea in the world, a worst idea for LeBron to play with his son. Now you have the face of the NBA threatening the face of NBA coverage, ESPN, $100 million man on national TV. How does he not pick up a menacing or harassment charge from NYPD? It's a complete disaster. But, Rob, I'm glad you're back. When this happened, I was wishing you were on the radio. We need you on that wall. We want you on that wall because they can't handle the truth.
All right. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Carl.
You know I'm here to tell the truth all the time. Ken in Stockton, California. Uh-oh, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Ken?
I don't know what you paid that guy, Rob, but I'm trashing you, and I'm agreeing with Calvin about your take on Tiger. It's golf, brother. He only has to play the majors. Just because no other golfer, young or black or minority, can't play golf doesn't mean it's Tiger's fault. Kevin's right. He's waiting for his son, like LeBron. So get your panties unwound and get over with it.
I hit it so good today.
Ken has
fun.
officially come over to my side now. This is about 2 or 3 weeks running
Ken was
here.
my man.
He was.
It's done.
Yeah, he's all right. Appreciate
All
you,
right.
Ken.
Cameron in Indiana, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Cameron?
Hey, I'm trashing all the incoming quarterbacks. When Tom Brady chooses to get Geno Smith over you, that's got to say something.
I hear you.
All right. Hey, thank you, Cameron.
Appreciate it.
I mean, yeah, you're like, would rather have Geno. That's saying a whole lot.
John in California, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, John?
Once again, I've got to chime in on trashing LeBron. I'll tell you what, I'm not always the hugest fan, but I respect the man. At least I did. If he wants to trash Stephen A. Smith for what he did, how about trashing himself for putting his boy in that position? That kid could never live up to his dad. He's the one that he should be pissed at.
There you go,
Okay.
John. I think that
All right,
was the
John.
point Stephen A. was making. Leo in New York City, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Leo?
Well, I hope you guys can hear me fine. I'm a little under the weather. But if I hear one more time, who had the most touchdown, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes? That will put me on my deathbed for real.
Well, then you might not make it.
There's a USC professor who told us that sport has a short menu, wins or losses. But when it comes to his boy, Aaron Rodgers, the pom-poms comes out and, who had more touchdowns? Well, guess what? Who had more touchdowns between Bo Nix and Aaron Rodgers? Who won more games? Huh? And you know what, Kelvin? I'm faulting you for that. Why are you letting this man get away with this? I mean, every time it's Aaron Rodgers, did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? Rob, we all watched the game, okay?
All right, Leo.
No, babe, let me cook.
I want Leo to keep cooking. Leo, now you're living my pain. No matter what I tell this man, Rob, I try to tell him. I tell him that Aaron Rodgers was like 30th and 28th in passing percentage and completion, QBR, and he doesn't listen to me. I tell him he was 5 and 12. He doesn't listen to me. Me and Rob G told him yesterday he doesn't win the game.
Didn't make the Pro Bowl.
He doesn't listen to us.
Or get a vote, a first place vote.
Neither did Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but his team was 5 and 12.
That's his fault. He's supposed to lead them to victory.
Was 15 and 2 and got 0.
Ain't this the first time in the history I get yelled at because I'm 15 and 2?
Yeah,
it's the first time in history I go to the Super Bowl and I'm bad, Rob G.
And Leo
I'm bad because I went to the Super Bowl.
Leo had the nerve to come to Brooklyn to Chris's comedy club to meet us, and now all he does is call up and rip on me.
Man,
Leo, really?
Are you noticing
I'm
the trend?
from New York City, Leo, too.
So I got Leo on my side, and I got Ken.
Ken, you too, Ken. I'm done with Ken.
They're leaving you in herds
Ken,
here.
I am so pained by this.